Hey Sonny, say let's talk about Brightburn and Godzilla King of the Monsters. Good cat. Alright, get out of here. I gotta talk about movies.
Who am I? You are a gift. I know it's been difficult for you lately that you feel different from other kids. You are different.
Let's talk about Brightburn, directed by David Yarovesky, I think, starring Elizabeth Banks, Roy from The Office, and creepy boy kid guy, Superman little baby.
Creepy little baby Superman.
His name's Jackson A. Dunn, so that's his name. So yeah, Brightburn. I remember seeing the trailers for this a while back, and I was excited because James Gunn is attached, and I was like, hey, that's a cool spin on superhero movies. Let's see a superhero that like is bad, I guess, or like uses his powers for the wrong things. This movie was okay. I think the biggest. Let me talk about the negatives first, and then I'll talk about the best parts of the movie. I didn't think the story was very interesting. It's an hour-and-a-half movie, so there's only so much character development you can get out of these characters. Plus, they're probably gonna die, so I guess like it doesn't really matter. However, I think this movie could have done with like a really strong family relationship, because I buy the parents and their struggle with having this crazy kid, but the child actor he doesn't really do it for me. Like, yeah, he looks creepy with like the weird mask thing, but every time he has to like talk and like deliver lines, I don't really buy him as like this all-powerful like like god-like child thing. And then his jump from being normal kid to finding out he has these crazy powers and then he just wants to kill people, that happens in like an instant. It's almost like Anakin Skywalker in episode 3. He just turns bad for no reason. And the writing of this movie could have been a lot better, I think. That's like my biggest issue. And honestly I wish it was a little longer, because I wanted to feel this family tension, and then so when he does like start killing people, it has more of like a emotional weight to it. Instead they just went for like cliche, boring kind of plot. I want to compare this movie to Slither, because I watched Slither like the night before I saw Brightburn, and Slither is like one of my like guilty pleasure movies. James Gunn obviously being attached to that as well, directing it. That's another hour-and-a-half weird movie where it balances the horror element and the comedic element very well.
Neat.
It works because this ridiculous alien transformation plot is made fun of by the comedy, and it works well. And in Brightburn, I feel like it was almost too serious. Like, I understand people are getting brutally murdered, which is the best parts of the movie, and I'll get to that in a sec. But I wanted to see a little bit more like charm or like style or anything really. Just like a little bit of like some weight to it. Because it really felt like for most of the film, it was just like average, normal. All the effort and talent was put into the gore and thinking of crazy ways you can kill people with a 14-year-old Superman evil boy. So those were the best parts of the movie. It's spoilers. When he stalks and kills the lady in the diner, when he kills Badger from Breaking Bad, and his jaw is like, ugh. And then he kills Roy from The Office by like shooting his laser beams like through his face. And then the best death is Elizabeth Banks' death when I didn't think they were gonna kill the mom, by the way. Like, I all the way through the movie, I was just kind of like, this is okay. Like, I like the gore. And then I was like, they're not going to kill the mom. The mom's going to end up killing the kid. And then we're just going to get, like, a boring, he's going to kill a kid with the shard on the spaceship or whatever. But no, he flies her up in the air and just drops her. Yeah, and then he, like, blows up a plane while he's up there, too. Which was fucking weird. But... And then the ending, and then it ends, and then it plays Bad Guy by Billie Eilish. And I was like, what the fuck is this? This was a completely serious movie. And then you play like the most meme song of May of 2019. And I'm just sitting there. And then Michael Rooker. Comes on the screen like an Alex Jones type and starts screaming about these crop circles that homeboy is leaving in the fields, and he's like Alex Jonesing it up.
Look, here's the thing.
Fine. Listen,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
And I'm just like, this was in the credits. This is after the movie's done. Bad Guy by Billie Eilish and Michael Rooker screaming like Alex Jones. And I was like, where was this weird comedy in the rest of the movie? This was out of nowhere. So it almost was like what I wanted out of the movie happened, and then I didn't want that. I don't know what I wanted, honestly. This is a 6 out of 10 movie. Like, this is the most 6 out of 10 movie ever. It's very, very slightly above average, is how I would describe this movie. Although the gore is top notch. The killing and the gore, the idea is great as well. Original movies support original movies, original ideas. Yeah, Brightburn, 6 out of 10.
Duh.
However, original ideas don't come around too often, and that is very apparent in Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Our world is changing. The mass extinction we feared has already begun, and we are the cause. We are the infection.
As a giant fan of Godzilla and watcher of probably 90% of the films, I haven't seen all of them. This is a huge letdown. Even from the trailers I could tell they were not going in the right direction.
You're a monster. I'm sorry.
I didn't hate the 2014 Godzilla. Didn't love it. I liked it. 7 out of 10 maybe. A lot of the issues I had with that film were the acting and the writing, but everything else, I like not having so much Godzilla. I mean, the movie is called Godzilla, so obviously you want to see Godzilla a lot, but if the film is good and the writing is good, I don't mind not seeing Godzilla for most of the movie. However, the writing was not good in Godzilla 2014, and it carries over to Godzilla King of the Monsters. It almost doubles down on having characters that are useless and have nothing to do with the plot. The plot is they have MacGuffin box that talks to the monsters, and people want to get it. So the monsters aren't fighting because the monsters are fighting. They're fighting because of MacGuffin box that plays the frequencies that they want to hear and that they fight with. So you have 11 running around. I don't care who directed this movie. It's not Gareth Edwards. So you have 11 running around with the box for some reason, and she's like 12. So why is she being left alone by Vera Farmiga's character? That's issue number 1. Issue number 2, Vera Farmiga's plot, her plan was to... So the Godzilla's awake, right? We know this, but there's like other monsters everywhere that are waking up, and they don't know when they're gonna wake up. So Vera Farmiga's plan is to wake them up now. All of them right now. Wake them all up now. So Godzilla can fight them, or fight King Ghidorah, instead of making... Because they don't... Okay, the scientists don't really know what's happening when the monsters all, like, wake up. So their plan is to wake up the most powerful one to Godzilla, or her plan, to wake up the one that can kill Godzilla first. I don't know if they knew that, or if it was random that they woke him up. It's not explained, obviously. But instead of building with the time you have until they all wake up, because Godzilla's been gone for 5 years, instead of using that time productively and building like bunkers or like building like defense systems, building like a Mecha Godzilla or something to defend themselves against a giant monster that might attack them, they just awake. She just wakes up the worst one. Ah! Yeah, so that makes sense. The monsters fighting was not fun. It was just big CG monsters and dark locations. I liked some of the character designs. I didn't care, but like, here's the thing with the monster designs. It's the same issue I have with Pokemon, where to make something look good in 2019, they have to be the most badass looking, like pointy dragon, like cool, like completely ignore any other like styles and just go with like the most badass looking. They gotta look big and cool, and they gotta have like, Rodan's gotta have like fire coming out of his wings, and Mothra's gotta have like giant barbs on her feet, and it's gotta have like, she gotta scream really loud, and she's gotta light up and do all these crazy, all this crazy CG. Look what we can do with the computers, you know? So like, when they get around to fighting, it's just like a video game cutscene. I don't have any attachment to any of these monsters fighting, because we don't have enough time, because we're wasting time on the dad from Get Out. Godzilla. Saying Zilla. And then we have Tyson Chandler. Not Tyson Chandler. What the fuck? Kyle Chandler. Whatever his name is. Yelling about saving 11. I did not care for this movie. Blow up Fenway Park, which was kind of sad. You know, King Ghidorah. The thing with King Ghidorah, he's like the best one. The best, like the most formidable opponent to Godzilla. And I feel like they did like a Justice League thing where they just blew their load in the second film. Like, they had the build-up movie with Godzilla, correct? And then they just like throw all the shit in the next movie. Like, going from Man of Steel to Batman v Superman, they had Doomsday in that movie, like shoehorned in. I don't think they really needed to shoehorn in all these other. If there's doing a universe and not having any characters really from the first Godzilla carrying over is a huge... It feels like these movies don't even exist in the same... And Kong! And Kong Skull Island. Like, these feel like three completely different films. Are they even related to each other? Everyone's got to have a cinematic universe. Just because you have all the rights to all these characters does not mean you can make a cinematic universe. You have to plan this shit out. You have to hire talented directors, talented writers to all flow in the same tone, and it doesn't. King of the Monsters is just a CG fest and then shitty characters. The only good elements of this movie are... the only good thing that came out of this movie is they used the original Godzilla theme, and I'm glad they brought that music back, because it was lacking in Godzilla 2014, and I think that music is so synonymous to the character and the style of film and the kaiju genre, and when that music plays you get goosebumps, and it felt right for that movie to use it. However, it's just the rest of the movie is just bad. I didn't really care for it. I will never watch it again. Although I'm kind of excited to see Mecha King Ghidorah or Mecha Ghidra or whatever, because they did a post-credit scene like the Marvel shit, and they alluded to the fact that King Ghidorah will be Mecha Ghidra in the next one, so that might be neat. Godzilla King of the Monsters, 3 out of 10. Maybe a 4. Probably a 3. Ay. Movies suck. I'll see you next one.